The Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame has been around since 2004, and last week the organization inducted its 20th class of Philly sports legends, and it was a terrific night at Live Casino. Now, because it was the 20th anniversary, the Hall invited past inductees to be there for the event, and more than 24 of them did show up, including former Eagles Bill Bradley, Ron Jaworski, Brian Westbrook, talking here with another past inductee, Ray Didinger, and the great Harold Carmichael. I had a nice chat with hole number 17, one of my favorite players from the 1970s and early 80s Eagles. There were a bunch of former Flyers there as well, including past inductees Bill Barber, Brian Propp, Jimmy Watson there to support his brother Joe for his induction. Hockey Hall of Famer Mark Howe was in the house as well. What a great player he was. And from the inaugural 2004 induction class, the great Bernie Perrant, another former teammate of Joe Watson's. Oh, these guys aren't in the Philly Hall, but it's always fun to see Oris Kindrachuk and Bob Kelly. Hound has been on our Philly Pressbox radio show several times over the years. From the basketball coaching world, Fran Dunphy was there, Herb McGee also, Speedy Morris, and Bill Ellerby. Also, writers Mel Greenberg and Dick Hoops Weiss, along with former Villanova and 76ers guard Wally Jones. Wally is 81 and looking great. And two amazing public address announcers were in the house, too. Dan Baker and Lou Nolan, both of them have been behind the mic for more than a half century. And how about this? A great Olympian, a South Jersey native, and certainly a track and field legend, Carl Lewis, was in the house, seen here with the Philly Hall's Mike Conroy, and with another South Jersey native and a 2023 inductee, Irving Fryar. Well, before the event got started, I was able to talk with a couple of this year's inductees, including the Axeman, Jeremiah Trotter. Congratulations on being inducted into the Philadelphia Hall of Fame, Sports Hall of Fame. It's quite an honor.
Yeah, appreciate it. Definitely a huge honor, and I'm excited about it.
What do you think of the 2023 Eagles as you watch them?
Man, I love watching them guys play, man. Jalen Hurts, running the offense. You got great receivers, you got a running game, you got the best offensive line in the NFL, you got one of the best defensive lines in the NFL, especially when you talk about getting after the quarterback. And then got some young linebackers that are playing well, and the secondary is playing great too.
Right. What do you think the outlook is? They went to the Super Bowl last year. We know how tough it is to get back.
Right.
Get their 1 year.
Right.
Can they do it? Big tough schedule coming up.
They definitely can do it. I mean, they're winning games. They're not playing at their best right now, but in the NFL, it's about finding ways to win, especially when you're not clicking on all cylinders. And last for a couple of weeks, offense has been playing very well, and defense struggled a little bit against Washington, but the biggest thing is just staying healthy. They can stay healthy. They definitely got the team to do it, and then clicking at the right time.
You miss playing the game at all?
No, I don't miss it at all, man. I mean, I left it all on the table when I played. Got no regrets, and that's a young man's sport. So right now, I'm living vicariously through my boys.
If you don't know, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is a star linebacker at Clemson, and he happens to wear number 54, just like his dad. Another son, Josiah Trotter, is a freshman at West Virginia, but he is out for the season due to an injury. Now, here's the full list of the 2023 Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame induction class. You'll notice the name Carol Lewis. That is Carl's talented sister. Popular Phillies 2008 World Series champion Carlos Ruiz. Everybody loves Chooch. And Villanova two-time NCAA champion coach Jay Wright. So great to see Phillies former owner and Chairman Emeritus Bill Giles there for his induction. Mr. Giles is 89 years young, and while he gave a great induction speech, he talked about the early days of the vet, including Kite Man, plus the more recent Phillies success, taking a moment to thank the guys at WIP, including the night's master of ceremony, Joe DeCamera, for last summer's Trey Turner standing ovation. Our buddy Jack Fritz behind that, of course. This video, courtesy Cindy Webster.
I used to think that the miracle in life was winning a World Series. But as I get older, I now think the miracle in life is really your family and friends. And I'm happy today to say that 20 of my family. I've loved my time in Philadelphia, and I'm still alive.
Did you catch that last part? I've loved my time in Philadelphia. I'm still alive. Bill Giles was just great last week. Former Flyer Joe Watson was inducted. We had Joe on our show just last week, the night before the ceremony. The boxer Bernard Hopkins is a new Hall of Famer. There's the great Philly native with our pal Mike Conroy. Oh, I took this picture of two of the inductees chatting at the event. That is 6'1" basketball star Valerie Still, who grew up in South Jersey and went on to become the University of Kentucky's all-time leading scorer among women and men. Talking with jockey Tony Black, who is 4'10", 111 pounds. Tony, by the way, gave one of the night's most enjoyable induction speeches, mentioning that he was impressed with Live Casino because their bathrooms, he said, even had low-to-the-ground urinals for jockeys. He was great. Oh, I interviewed another inductee before the night got going, the great wide receiver, Irving Fryar. The Mount Holly native played his college ball at Nebraska, and then he was the first overall pick in the NFL's 1984 draft by the New England Patriots. He played 3 very good seasons with the Eagles, then more than a decade later. Here's that chat.
Talking with the pride of Rancocas Valley High and a very dapper dresser, I might add. Irving Fryar. Irving, you played for the Eagles 96 to 98. What do you remember about those years under Ray Rhodes?
Look, I remember the vet that anytime someone would come to cheer on our opponent, and if they wore an opposing jersey, it was enter at your own risk. So no, it was a pleasure to come back home. I'm from this area over in New Jersey, and to play in the latter part of my career in front of my family. So I enjoyed it. It was a good time. Had great teammates. Still stay in contact with many of them. Love Ray Rhodes as a coach. And you know, there's no other town like Philly when it comes to sports.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
And you had some pretty good years, a couple of Pro Bowls, a couple of 1,000-yard seasons. And no offense, but the quarterbacks we played with were in between Randall Cunningham and Donovan McNabb. So, you know, the Detmers, Rodney Peete,
Yeah.
Bobby, was it Bobby Hoyne?
Bobby Hoyne. You remember Bobby Hoyne.
And you put up some pretty good numbers. So
Well,
not
I
bad.
mean, you just have to adapt. The ball's the same size. It doesn't matter who's throwing it. When it comes to you, catch it. That's just a philosophy I developed that actually was given to me by my father.
And you had some personal issues, shall we say, 8 or 9 years ago, and I heard you on the radio the other day. You've been on kind of a redemption campaign ever since. So tell me about that. How are you doing that?
Well, I mean, life happens, and sometimes it's bitter, but we have to keep fighting, and that's what we're doing. That's what I'm doing right now. Just on that road to recovery, on that road to get back to where I was. I don't know if people like a comeback story, but that's what this is. It's a comeback story. Just trying to do the best that I can to get back to where I was and make a good name for myself.
And here you are tonight being inducted into the Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame. That's a nice honor.
But you know what? It means that. It's a reaffirmation of what I've been able to accomplish on the field, and a reaffirmation for me as I receive it of who I am as a person. So it really, really means a lot to me today.
Irving, congratulations.
Thank you.
Great to meet Irving. Now, this other guy I talked with is a Philadelphia sports media legend who was actually a 2022 Hall of Fame inductee, though he wasn't able to be there last year for it because he was on the sidelines that night covering the Thursday night Eagles game. I'm talking, of course, about Howard Eskin, who, if you haven't heard, has recently been having a little feud with former Eagles great turned broadcaster Seth Joyner. Of course, that was one of the things I asked Howard about.
Howard, first of all, in light of the trade of James Harden, have your feelings toward Daryl Morey changed at all?
No, because what did he do? He messed it up the first time by making a bad trade. He could have had Tyrese Halliburton and Buddy Hield from Sacramento, one last first-round pick. The 2 first-round picks he gave to the Nets were better than what he's got now. The Oklahoma City pick won't be that good because they're going to be good. And the other one, the kid's in 7th grade right now, whoever they're going to draft in 2028. So no, what did he do? I mean, really, and he just got a bunch of nobodies with expiring contracts. Robert Covington's just so-so. I mean, so what did he do? If he's the general manager, when they make that first round, or the president, whatever you want to call him, when they make that first round pick in 2028, the Sixers are in deep trouble. No, it has not changed. He's never won anything.
All right, second question. You got a little debate coming up at some point with Seth Joyner.
Seth who?
Are you concerned at all about that? You think you can take him down in a football debate?
Well, the thing is, he played 35 years ago. The game has changed. Just because you played football doesn't mean you know football. He was a really good player. But the game has changed so much, I don't think he understands it because he lives in it. 2 years ago, he wanted the team to blitz every time. I mean, that's not it's not the same anymore. So am I worried about it? No, he says he played football for 13 years. I've been a broadcaster for over 35 years. So he's just got to stay in his lane.
Okay. And thirdly, last year at about this time, you were inducted into this Sports Hall of Fame in Philadelphia. You weren't here. You had to work that night.
I know, the only Thursday night game of the year was that night. So nothing I could do.
But what does it mean to you to be inducted into this great organization?
Well, it means a lot because of the people that are in there with you. When you're in the Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame, you're in with a lot of really, really good people, whether they're players, but people, whether they're management, whether they're coaches, whatever it is, you're in with a lot of people. So, I'm part of an unbelievable group.
Kudos to everybody associated with the Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame, including President Ken Avalon, for just a terrific night at Live Casino. And full disclosure, since last spring, my radio partner Bill Furman and I are voters for the Philly Sports Hall. Congratulations to all of the 2023 Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame inductees.